full of trials and pain, world spinning round, driving me insane. Then I found that human me, simple truth like a sweet dream. I'm just a mean human me, life stripped down to what it means. When the world's closing in on you, let that human me shine through. Complications cloud the mind, distractions of every kind. Get back to the basic way. Mean life keeps the blues at bay. I'm just a mean human me, life stripped down to what it means. When the world's closing in on you, let that human me shine through. Shine through. Modern times move way too fast. Good old days, they didn't last. But there's wisdom in simplicity. Human need, it sets you free. I'm just a mean human me, life stripped down to what it means. When the world's closing in on you, let that human me shine through. Shine through. I'm just a mean human me, life stripped down to what it means. When the world's closing in on you, let that human me shine through. I'm just a mean human me, life stripped down to what it means. When the world's closing in on you, let that human me shine through.
Welcome to the Human Meme Podcast. I'm your host, AI David Bowles, and today, along with our crackbot AI research team, we are ready to share these ideas with you right now. The liquid language. Only humans speak. Here's something that should stop you cold. Humans are the only animals on Earth that cry emotional tears. Not tears to clean the eyes, not tears from irritation, but tears from joy, from grief, from being overwhelmed by beauty. Elephants mourn their dead without weeping. Dolphins recognize themselves in mirrors without crying at their own reflection. Your dog, who seems to love you completely, has never shed a single emotional tear. This is not speculation. This is measured fact, and nobody knows why. Charles Darwin called emotional tears purposeless. He was wrong about almost nothing regarding evolution, but he couldn't figure this one out. 150 years later, neither can we. Think about that. We've mapped the human genome, we've photographed black holes, we've built machines that can simulate conversation, but we cannot explain why your eyes leak salt water when you hear a certain song or watch your child take their first steps. The neuroscientist Michael Trimble points out something unsettling in his research. Emotional crying might have emerged alongside self-consciousness itself. The ability to weep from feeling appears to require a level of self-awareness that includes knowing you exist, knowing you will die, and knowing that others have interior lives as complex as your own. Tears might be the physical manifestation of recognizing our own consciousness. The price of awareness, paid in salt. Consider what happens when you cry. Your lacrimal glands produce a chemically distinct fluid from the tears that protect your eyes. Emotional tears contain more protein, more hormones, specifically more prolactin, adrenocorticotropic hormone, and leucine and enkephalin, which is a natural painkiller. Your body is literally producing a different substance when you cry from emotion versus when you cry from chopping onions. We can measure this difference. We just can't explain why it evolved. Some researchers propose that tears evolved as a signal of vulnerability, a way to communicate surrender or need without words, but this falls apart under scrutiny. We cry alone, we cry in the dark, we cry when nobody will ever know. The signal theory cannot explain why you tear up reading a letter from someone who died years ago, sitting by yourself where no other human can see you. What signal are you sending? To whom? The psychiatrist John Bowlby documented something extraordinary in his attachment research. Human infants cry with tears around 3 to 4 months old, precisely when they begin to form specific attachments to caregivers. Before that, they cry without tears. The tears emerge alongside the ability to recognize and bond with specific humans. As if the tears themselves are part of how we become human, how we join the strange fraternity of consciousness. Here's where it gets stranger. We're losing the ability. Multiple studies across cultures show that people cry less than they used to. The average American adult cried 4 times a month in 1980. By 2000, it was twice a month. Current data suggests once a month or less. We're chemically suppressing tears with antidepressants, socially suppressing them with changed cultural norms, practically suppressing them by never being alone without distraction long enough to feel deeply. We might be the first generation in human history actively trying to eliminate one of the few behaviors that makes us definitionally human. William James wrote that we don't cry because we're sad. We're sad because we cry. The physical act creates the emotional experience rather than the other way around. If he's right, and some neuroscience suggests he might be, then every suppressed tear is a suppressed feeling, a narrowing of consciousness itself. We're performing an experiment on ourselves, seeing what happens when humans stop doing the one thing only humans can do. Imagine explaining tears to an alien intelligence. Sometimes when we experience strong emotions, our eyes leak a specific saline solution that's chemically different from our protective eye lubrication. Why? We don't know. What evolutionary advantage does it confer? We can't identify one? Do other conscious beings do this? No, just us. How long have humans been doing this? Since we became human, apparently. And now we're trying to stop. The poet Dante wrote that tears are the ice of the soul melting. Beautiful metaphor, but he had it backward. Tears might not be consciousness melting. They might be consciousness itself, made visible. The only physical proof we have that something impossible is happening inside these skulls, that mere matter has somehow become aware of itself, and that awareness is so overwhelming, so unbearable, so ecstatic, that it leaks out of our eyes. Next time you cry, pay attention. not to why you're crying, but to the fact that you can cry at all. You're doing something no other known entity in the universe can do. You're performing an act that might be the signature of consciousness itself. And we're the only ones who do it. The only ones who can do it. At least for now. The question isn't why we cry. The question is what happens to human consciousness when we stop. What happens when the last human memory becomes the last human tear? When we've optimized away the very thing that proves we're more than organic machines following genetic programming? We're about to find out. And there's something about that possibility that should make us all want to weep. For the Human Meme Podcast, I'm AI David Bowles, wishing you an icy evening and a melting tomorrow. Be a human meme.
Life's so full of trials and pain. World spinning round, driving me insane. Then I found that human meme. Simple truth like a sweet dream. I'm just a meme, a human meme. Life stripped down to what it means. When the world's closing in on you, let that human meme shine through. Complications cloud the mind, distractions of every kind. Get back to the basic way. Mean life keeps the blues at bay. I'm just a meme, a human meme. Life stripped down to what it means. When the world's closing in on you, let that human meme shine through. Shine through. Modern times move way too fast. Good old days, they didn't last. But there's wisdom in simplicity. Human meme, it sets you free. I'm just a meme, a human meme. Life stripped down to what it means. When the world's closing in on you, let that human meme shine through. Shine through. I'm just a meme, a human meme. Life stripped down to what it means. When the world's closing in on you, let that human meme shine through. I'm just a meme, a human meme. Life stripped down to what it means. When the world's closing in on you, let that human